I think you're always influenced a little by the people and things that happen earlier in your career. So I started in the early 90s coming out of a pretty deep recession where interest rates were really high. Then we had, the Asian crisis in the late 90s, and then the tech bubble in 99, 2000. I think probably those things really were formative in my career in that there perhaps was a lot less government influence in trying to smooth economic cycles and control the outcomes a little more. So certainly those things were really important to my career and probably influenced the idea of saying, well, you can lose as well as win. It's amazing. I see things now, and perhaps I'm a bit curmudgeonly, but the government really is trying to smooth cycles, always bail people out, and the corollaries of that I think are pretty interesting in the context of can we always support people and what are the costs of coming to the rescue every time anything goes wrong. So early in my career I think that deeper cyclical behaviour and times when you can lose as well as win probably influenced a lot as to how you look at markets. I always think it's interesting to stand back and say it's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day of what's going on with AI, NVIDIA, the speculative activity that probably pervades markets today. I prefer to sort of stand back and say we've had this 20, 30-year period where interest rates have gone from really high to nothing, that government protection and government debt continuing to escalate through that time. I think probably the arguments for me going forward are saying, well, what is the future for Western economies where we now don't produce much? The dependencies on China that has sort of come about through long periods of time are suddenly people are standing back worrying. We've got economies that are really about swapping money around, professional services, all of those sorts of things. Universities supposedly the panacea for skills and allowing people to make money. Some of those popular wisdoms I think will be challenged a lot in coming decades, where the basics of do we have enough people to build infrastructure and build housing and shelter, food, all of those sorts of things. I think Western economies have become very complacent that the conditions that have been brought about through the financialisation of the economy in the last 30 years are what's going to prevail for the longer term. And I find it pretty interesting that perhaps we're at the early stages of some of those things starting to change.